Hi, welcome. I am joined tonight by some vintage 10-year-old Tawny Port, which I bought from Cooperative. As you can see, I may have tried a little bit already, but let's not worry about that. So just to give you a bit of background about Tawny Port, Tawny Port is aged in casks for a number of years. For the younger ones, it can maybe only be 3 or 4 years. In this case, it's 10 years. It can go much higher than that, 20, 30, 40 years. But 10 years is the sort of lower range of the vintage aged Tawny Ports. And as it gets older, it gets more sort of mellower. Starts off pretty sweet, gets less sweet. So obviously you'd expect the 30, 40-year-olds to be considerably less sweet than this one, 10-year-olds. The age is actually an average age because it's a blended port. So there may be some older than 10-year ports older than 10 years and some younger than 10 years in this. It's all blended together to give it a nice consistent flavour. So every time you taste a 10-year-old port from the same port house year on year, it should taste pretty much the same. That's the whole point of blending it, to give it consistency. So let's pour it out. With a Tawny Port, as the name suggests, you expect a sort of reddish brown appearance, and hopefully you can see that. I know the light's not so great here, but it appears much more sort of reddish brown than obviously a ruby port, which is ruby in colour. And in terms of the nose you get off it, it's a very mellow. You get the because it's been aged in wood. You get a sort of woodiness to it, I guess, and it's certainly quite sweet, and it is generally an after dinner port. And those of you who drink sherry may pick up some sherry notes in there. And tasting it, it's got a lot of sweetness up front, but also quite a nice softness to it, and getting some dried fruit in there, bit of nuttiness. I mean, it's a very lovely kind of mellow drink, and the older you get, the mellower it gets. I mean, this is really just at the start of it, 10 years, but even it's a world away from your sort of cheaper, younger ports. So I'm trying to keep this review short. I won't ramble on too much longer, but I think this is a good buy. It was about £13 a bottle. So for a 10-year-old Tawny Port, I think that's a good deal. I think if you went to buy, for example, Taylor's 10-year-old vintage Tawny, you're going to be paying about £20 a bottle. So because you're going for the own brand supermarket, tends to be quite a good deal. But certainly Cooperative seem to have some good deals in this department. So I definitely recommend this. I'm going to do some more port reviews over the next few months, and this is the first of, probably do one a month. Try some different types of port, maybe look at a white port, a ruby port, and some vintage ones. So, cheers, and thanks for watching, and see you next time.